Forget the Swiss premium. Let's see how the Seiko Presage line is absolutely disrupting the luxury watch game. For decades, we've been told you need to pay a massive Swiss premium for a true mechanical dress watch. But there's a clash brewing. Standard Swiss pricing is going head-to-head with centuries-old Japanese artisanal craftsmanship. Seiko's always been a disruptor. That DNA traces right from their 1881 roots straight to the 2013 Presage launch. Their secret weapon, taking ancient, handmade Japanese dial crafts and putting them into incredibly accessible modern watches. And, wow, what's truly mind-blowing here is the sheer value packed into these three specific flagship models. Take the SARX055. You get extraordinary depth with these high-temperature-fired Arita porcelain dials. No two are identical. Shockingly, this distinct artisanal porcelain craftsmanship is going to run you less than $600. Then there's the SARX057. It uses Shippo enamel, forged through multiple intense firings for absolutely stunning visual depths. This crazy, labor-intensive process creates a liquid glass look that easily rivals a $5,000 Grand Seiko. Yet, somehow, this high-end liquid glass craft is unbelievably accessible, sitting at under $700. Prefer darker tones? The SARX049 uses 9,000-year-old Urushi lacquer traditions for a flawlessly rich, deep black dial. And this ancient lacquering technique is yours for under $500. It vastly undercuts traditional luxury. Love complications? The SRPC 35 rocks a power reserve indicator that totally undercuts its Swiss equivalents. But they aren't just pretty faces. Under the hood, these models boast the robust, in-house caliber 6R15 movement. Pair that with meticulous case and hand finishing, and you're getting fundamentally higher quality at this price. Sure, it won't beat a Rolex, but it completely crushes equivalently priced Swiss models from Tissot or Longines. Let's dive right into this. Here's our roadmap for the explainer. We'll start with the movement divide. Look at Step 1, artisanal dials. Move to Step 2, functional complications. Hit Step 3, minimalist dress. And finally, weigh the final choice on the secondary market. By breaking it down this way, we're going to explain all the watches step by step, exactly how Seiko categorizes them. If you've ever felt completely lost looking at Seiko's endless sea of catalog numbers, and let's be honest, we all have, this framework is literally your cheat code. Understanding these three distinct steps will totally empower you to cut through the noise and figure out the absolute perfect watch for your own wrist. All right, introduction, the movement divide. Before we can even start geeking out over the incredible artistry on the outside, we really need to understand the engines under the hood. This is a crucial divide you've got to keep in mind. On one side, powering the premium SARX models, we have the higher-end Seiko 6R15 caliber. It has a super smooth sweep at 28,800 vibrations per hour, tighter accuracy running plus 25 to minus 15 seconds a day, and a really solid 50-hour power reserve. On the flip side, the SRPC models use the 4R series. Now, these are absolute workhorses, incredibly reliable, but they do beat a bit slower at 21,600 vibrations per hour. They have a slightly looser accuracy spec and a shorter 41-hour reserve. Knowing this divide is the master key to understanding the price and size variations we're about to look at. Moving right along, Step 1, the artisanal dials. We're focusing on three specific models first. The SARX055, the SARX057, and the SARX049. Now, despite having vastly different faces, they actually share this exact same foundational stainless steel case. You're getting a super wearable 40.5mm diameter, 12.5mm thick, and a 47mm lug-to-lug. That lug-to-lug is key, meaning it won't overhang on an average wrist. Toss in a sapphire crystal with anti-reflective coating and 50 meters of water resistance, and you have a great base. But the canvas inside that case? That is where the real magic happens. Now, what's really interesting about the SARX055 is how Seiko takes things way beyond your standard, run-of-the-mill stamped brass watch dial. They use Arita porcelain. This is a fired ceramic material that gives the dial an absolutely incredible ivory white finish with this very subtle blue-gray depth that just plays beautifully when the sunlight hits it. Add in some gold-toned applied indices and a totally clean, no-date layout, and you're essentially wearing a masterpiece of traditional Japanese ceramic art right on your wrist. But hey, if porcelain isn't quite your style, the SARX057 swaps it out for Shippo enamel. This is a hand-applied material that has to go through multiple, highly delicate firings in a kiln. The result? this luminous, almost glass-like depth that is notoriously difficult to pull off at scale. Just like the porcelain model, it keeps that clean, no-date layout so the raw material is the true star of the show. Rounding out this first step is the SARX049, bringing a much darker elegance to the table. This one uses an Urushi-inspired lacquer to hit a stunning bottomless deep black or midnight blue finish. And remember, because these three artisanal models are part of the SARX family, they're all powered by that premium 6R15 engine we talked about, complete with hacking and hand winding, meaning, you can actually stop the seconds hand to set the exact time perfectly. Pure aesthetics are great, for sure, but watch collecting is deeply personal, right? For a lot of us, a watch is a daily tool, and a clean, time-only dial just doesn't give us enough info to get through a busy day. Which brings us to step 2, functional complications. This step is where we shift away from the 6R15 and into the complication-heavy 4R series. The SRPC 35 is just a fantastic example of this. Powered by the Seiko 4R57 caliber, this watch trades minimalism for a highly technical, multi-register instrument vibe. The real standout is that sweeping power reserve arc. It literally shows you exactly how much energy is left in the tank. Plus, you get a push-button deploying clasp. If you've ever had that heart-stopping moment where your watch almost slips onto a hard tile floor, you know exactly why that clasp is a game changer. Let's look at the SRPC 35 right alongside its sibling, the SRPC 97. The 97 uses the 4R36 movement, giving you a really classic automatic day-date window over a textured sunburst style. But catch this subtle upgrade. The SRPC 97 bumps up to a full 100 meters of water resistance, making it just a bit more robust for your everyday wear and tear. But listen, there is always a trade-off in mechanical watchmaking. It's like a giant puzzle in there. You literally cannot add extra layers like power reserve arcs and day-date wheels without needing more physical space. Because of these additions, these SRPC models are thicker than our earlier dress watches, coming in at 13.0 and 13.3 millimeters. So they definitely carry a slightly chunkier, sportier presence on the wrist. So, what if you're not really into a chunky instrument dial and you don't really want to pay a premium for hand-fired porcelain, but you still want an impeccably finished, refined watch for a suit and tie? Enter step 3, the minimalist dress. 11.5 millimeters. And this brilliantly illustrates what makes this next piece special. That is the magic number for the SARX033. By stripping away absolutely everything unnecessary, it becomes the slimmest watch in the entire lineup we're looking at today. The SARX033 is the ultimate distillation of a formal dress watch. It has the cleanest, no-date layout, perfectly applied indices, and a really subtle sunburst or textured finish. And because it is a SARX model, we see a triumphant return to that premium, slimmer 6R15 movement with the 50-hour reserve. It literally just glides right under a tailored shirt cuff. Top that off with the anti-reflective sapphire crystal, and honestly, you have a virtually flawless, understated dress piece. Finally, we reach the final choice. So the crucial point is, what does this all actually mean for your wallet? We've systematically gone through the movements, the artisanal craftsmanship, the robust complications, and the minimalist designs. Now let's look at the secondary market. For right around $500, you can get true artisanal dials, porcelain, enamel, lacquer, materials that would easily command thousands, plural, from Swiss luxury brands. If you want complications, those are sitting pretty at around $400, and the ultra-slim SARX033 is right around $475. Across the board, the barrier to entry for this level of quality is just incredibly low. At the start of this explainer, we introduced this line as Japan's answer to Swiss watchmaking. Well, after looking at the data step by step, it's pretty clear that's not just some clever marketing slogan. From the Arita porcelain to the 6R15 calibers and the obsessive case finishing, the hardware absolutely backs up the claim. Which leaves us with a pretty compelling thought to wrap up on. When you can get true in-house mechanical movements and hand-fired ceramic dials at these secondary market prices, the whole definition of luxury horology kind of gets flipped on its head. Look at the specs we covered today and ask yourself, is the traditional Swiss establishment truly prepared for this level of accessible Japanese perfection? Take what you've learned today, explore the classic line, and decide for yourself which of these watches actually belongs on your wrist.